It's great to see that you guys can be friends and everything after breaking up, I said. It's really cool. Nareem stared at his soda. It's actually quite difficult, if you want to know the truth. Oh, I said. That ended the conversation for a while. I sat there, eating my cheeseburger and trying to balance a spoon on the end of my nose. It took me a few tries, but I did it. Look, I said, showing off my accomplishment. Yippee, Katie said, without the slightest enthusiasm. Well done, said Nareem. We took a few more bites of our food. Hey, Read-a-Bookie reunion weekend is coming up, Katie said, trying to think of something that would cheer us all up. Camp Read-a-Bookie, pronounced Read-a-Bookie, by the way, was the school-like summer camp the three of us all went to last year. I totally hated it. For about 4 days. Then I kind of tolerated it for about 3 more days. Then, for about a week, I thought it was decent. By the time I left, I completely didn't want to leave. The reunion was happening in New York City in a couple of weeks, and it was going to be awesome. Hey, yeah, I said, glad to have something fun to look forward to. Katie smiled. Do you think Jared Bumpers will be there? Nareem and I laughed. Jared was the kid who got kicked out of camp on the last day because he was a cheater. I doubt it, I said. It would certainly be an ironic turn of events, Nareem added, showing off his unfair vocabulary, as usual. I thought about camp for a minute. One of the reasons it was so fun is that everyone else who went there was... Let me see. How can I put this without sounding insulting? Super nerdy. I was the total cool kid. In fact, Camp Read-a-Bookie was where I first gave someone girl advice. He was this tall, dorky kid named George Fiedelman, who ended up becoming one of my closest friends. Yeah, they all thought I was such a stud, a total ladies' man. Boy, were they wrong. You know something? I said. This stinks. Nareem stopped mid-bite, which isn't easy when you're eating fried cheese sticks. Once you get going on those things, it's almost impossible to slow down. What stinks? He asked. I let out a big sigh. Well, maybe stinks is too strong a word, but it's weird. All of a sudden, I'm like the only one I know without a girlfriend. I feel like such a loser. Katie and Nareem looked at each other, and I suddenly realized that since they didn't have boyfriends or girlfriends either, I'd just kind of called them losers too. Sorry, you guys, I said. I didn't mean you. At least, well, I guess what I meant was I've never had a girlfriend. And there it was. I said it. The sad truth. I've never had a girlfriend. Technically, I'd almost had a girlfriend once. Her name was Zoe Alvarez, and we definitely liked each other. But then she moved away, and a few embarrassing misunderstandings later, we decided to just be friends. And Eliza Collins, the generally acknowledged prettiest girl in the grade, had always liked me, but for some crazy reason, I didn't like her back. Anyway, the next thing I knew, it was getting late in my middle school career, and I'd never been able to say the 4 sweetest words in the English language. Yeah, we're going out. Well, I'm sure your luck will change soon, Nareem said, in his typical nicest person on the planet way. You're funny and smart, and any girl would be lucky to go out with you. Stop being so sweet, Nareem, Katie said. It's possible Charlie Joe will go through his entire life without knowing the love of a decent woman. Ha ha, I said. Ha ha yourself, Katie said. Then my chocolate milkshake came. One thing I learned a long time ago, if you're ever feeling really sorry for yourself, order a chocolate milkshake. I took a long sip, and suddenly things didn't seem so bad. Maybe you need to do a little research, Katie suggested. What do you mean by that? Nareem answered before Katie could. She means if you want to figure out the mercurial ways of the fairer sex, you may wish to seek counsel from an expert in the field.